So you want to buy a home here in Dallas, Texas. Well, in today's video, we want to discuss the top 5 mistakes that you should avoid when getting ready to purchase your next house. Every single day, tons of people are still relocating here to the Dallas, Texas area, and we have actually had the privilege of helping quite a few of them make the Dallas area their home. And as a result, along the way, there are definitely some questions that have come up that people have started to ask and maybe didn't even know about when making that move. So, we want to kind of dive into the things that you may want to be prepared for, some things that you want to get yourself all ready to go before actually making that move. And we're going to get after it right after this. What's up, everyone? I'm Kristen Carpentier, a licensed realtor here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about what it's like living here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and hit the bell for notifications because we are dropping new content every single week about what it's like living here. And we absolutely love helping people make the Dallas area their home. So no matter if you're moving next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know what we can do to help you have that smooth move here, relocating to the Dallas, Texas area. All right, so let's talk about the 5 mistakes that we think you should avoid to better prepare yourself before making that move and purchasing your next house. And first up, if you are moving from anywhere around the country, things are different no matter where it is that you're moving from. But here in Texas, number one is we want you to be prepared for the out-of-pocket costs that may come up when making that move. Now, what are we talking about? Okay, so here in Texas, when you go to write a contract on a particular property, we have what is called an option fee and earnest money. So your option fee is basically the time period in which you make your inspections. Now, obviously, during the pandemic, a lot of people were waiving that option period. So we definitely do not recommend that. Anybody does that. You should always do your due diligence before purchasing a home. And that actually goes for new construction as well. So if you're getting ready to buy a home and you are going under contract, your option fees can vary. Now, that can be anywhere from, say, $100, $500, but that is obviously up to you and your agent and the listing agent as well. So plain and simple, let's say it is $100 that you're going to do for your option period. And your earnest money is typically around, let's say, 1% of the sales price. So if you're buying a $500,000 house, you'd be putting $5,000 down for your earnest money. So the second you sign that contract, you have to get your earnest and option money delivered to the title company to be held in escrow. Now, obviously, this money is going to be applied to your down payment or your closing costs or whatever it is that you have worked out with your agent and your lender. So, but you definitely need to be prepared to put that money down as soon as you go under contract. Now, your option fee is, let's say it's $100 and your option period is 7 days. Obviously, the number of days you put out there can vary as well. But you go through, you do your inspection, and you're going to have to pay for your home inspection also. And if you get your inspection done within the first 7 days, that could be, let's say, $400. Obviously, depending on the inspector and what needs to be done, we're just going to round it to $400. So out of pocket, you're already at the $5,000 plus the $100 plus $400 for a home inspection. Now, if you go through and you realize that there's some other inspections that you want taken care of, well, you're going to need to pay for those as well. Sometimes you can get sellers to pay for things or maybe have the seller pay for it at closing, reimburse you for it. But ultimately, whatever inspections that you want to have done on the property, you are going to most likely need to pay for upfront. But you're almost always going to be paying for a home inspection. So you definitely need to be prepared to have that money in the bank to pay for those costs. Now, you are going to have 30 days to pay whatever is remaining as well. If you're putting 20% down, if you're putting 3% down, but you need to be prepared for your closing costs at the end of, let's say, your 30 days. Obviously, a closing time period could vary as well, but you do need to be sure that you have all of your money in the bank ready to go to make those payments, because there really isn't going to be any title company that is going to take a credit card to pay your earnest and your option fee. Sometimes you can pay those fees with a home inspection, But just being prepared, no matter what, when you go to write a contract on a home, to have those out of pocket costs prepared for, and that there's no surprises that come up when you're actually moving, relocating, and trying to purchase a home. So always be prepared on your out of pocket costs. Number one, definitely make sure that you have that in your savings account, your checking account, so that you are good to go and you don't have anything to hold up actually writing a contract on a house. Now, number two is to make sure that you are fully pre approved before going out and searching for a home. Now, fully pre approved, actually speaking with a lender, running all the numbers, submitting all of your paperwork, whether it is your W 2s, your tax returns, your bank statements, and make sure that you are dealing with somebody who has run a full credit check to tell you what exactly it is that you can afford when purchasing a house. Now, we are not talking about just going online to somewhere like, let's say, Rocket Mortgage or any of these other companies where you just plug in your numbers, best case scenario, and they pop out with what they tell you that you can afford. Well, there is definitely a lot more that goes into getting pre approved on being able to purchase a house, and you want to know exactly what those numbers are going to be. So, doing a full pre approval if you are truly ready to buy a house, because you don't want to get under contract and all of a sudden then start working on it and realizing that you can't afford to actually purchase a home that is as expensive as you did. You want to have all of your numbers in line before going out and purchasing a house. Now, number three definitely goes in line with number two, and that is shopping for a lender. Now, we do prefer that you work with a local lender, somebody that we have recommended, that we have done business with, that we know will be able to get the job done. And we also do highly recommend that you kind of compare numbers between at least two different lenders. Now, this also goes for new construction. When you get under contract in a new construction home and they might give you some incentives to use the builder's lender, well, sometimes that isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Sometimes their fees are higher, sometimes they drop the ball, and you just want to make sure that all of your numbers make sense, that you know what your interest rate is going to be, and you know what your monthly mortgage payment is going to be. Because you don't want to get into a house and just them give you some range of what you might expect. You want to know all of the numbers going in to buying a house. You're going to want to know what you are going to be coming out every single month in regards to a mortgage payment, and that you feel comfortable with that amount as well. So always check your lenders. In fact, we have multiple recommendations that we can send out that are able to give you the best option for you. They're able to shop around the interest rates and the different programs to make sure that you truly are getting the best program that's going to work within your budget and all of the other things that you're expecting when buying your next house. So definitely shop your lenders, check your numbers, and know exactly what it is you're getting into when buying your next house. Number four, which is very important, is do not empty your savings account. Now, we of course said that we want to make sure that you have all of your money in line, that you know what your out of pocket costs are going to be. But then you go under contract, you think it's smooth sailing, you've done all of your inspections, and you think it's time to go out and buy your furniture, a new couch, a new washer, dryer, a new refrigerator, or maybe even that $80,000 brand new Tesla that you custom order. Well, we highly suggest talk to your lender and realize that you do not want to empty your bank account, because at the end of the day, when they go and pull the final numbers before getting ready to close on your property, and suddenly $100,000 is missing out of your bank account, suddenly you've racked up your credit cards, it could put a huge red flag. And at the end of the day, you might actually miss out on being able to close on that property. So always make sure you are not spending loads of money before closing. You want all those numbers to look exactly like they did when you went under contract, so that there are no red flags before being able to close. So do not empty your bank account. And number five, which is also extremely important, is to work with a trusted real estate professional. Yes, I know I'm calling it out, and that's why you may want to reach out to me. But you are going to want somebody who is working for you, who has your back, who is truly doing the best job for you. In fact, people get all excited when they are looking online, they're looking on Zillow and realtor.com, and they want to click those buttons to get more information on a property. And they think going through the listing agent is going to give me a better deal. Well, at the end of the day, the listing agent has signed a contract with the seller to help the seller get the most value out of their property. They want the most money. They have signed up to do a job to actually work in the seller's behalf to get them the most money possible. And if you're calling to hopefully get a great deal, well, they are not working in your behalf because they have already signed a contract to work in the seller's behalf. And this is why you want somebody on your side, somebody who knows the questions to ask, somebody to do the deep dive and the research on what might be actually going on with the property, who is looking out for your best interest. And this even goes with new construction, especially because the sales agent in a new construction community is working on behalf of the builder. They're not going to give you any other incentives or hot deals just because you went directly with the builder's representative. You want an agent who can look over those contracts and ask all the questions that they need to ask in order to get the best deal for you. So we always suggest get your own agent, get somebody who's looking out for your best interest to make sure that whatever house you go under contract in, they know the right questions to ask in order to make sure that you are getting into the home that you are wanting to. And this also goes in line with off-market properties. In fact, I have built up a lot of great relationships with different realtors all throughout the DFW area. And there have been times where I know different agents have worked in different areas, and I can reach out to them and inquire about off-market properties. This also goes for agents in my own local community. When I know people who've mentioned that they have sellers getting ready to list their home, if you come in and the only place you're looking is Zillow or realtor.com, you're not going to have the inside scoop on some of these off-market properties. So this is definitely why you want somebody who is working for you and in your behalf to do what they can to find the best possible scenario. So always get somebody who represents you, because at the end of the day, the seller is going to be paying the buyer's real estate agent's commission, and you are not going to have to come out of pocket to pay for that extra commission. It's technically the seller's responsibility. So there's no harm in finding somebody who's going to work in your best interest when buying your next house. Now, if any of these things make sense, as always, reach out. Let us know what we can do to help. And if maybe there's some things that you weren't quite sure of, you can call us and we would be happy to answer those questions as well. So again, if you are thinking of relocating here to the Dallas area, please reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and let us know what we can do to help answer those questions. And again, don't forget to like this video and leave your comments below and let us know what we can do to help you make that smooth move here to the Dallas, Texas area.